Hey guys, I'm experimenting with going live, and I just got off the phone with one of my favorite people, my sister in law, and it really inspired me to talk about this topic that actually was brought up to me yesterday by the gentleman who took my sub order. I was getting my sandwiches at the grocery store. I had this huge grocery trip to make because we have our cast party on Saturday for Battalion 13. We're doing this Thinking Out Loud story. It's a comedy, and we have a lot of stuff to record. So I bought a whole bunch of stuff, and I didn't want to have to make dinner when I got home. So um, he asked me, he said, "Why do you think we're here on this earth?" And my answer to him is that I believe we're here to help people. Um, I generally believe this, genuinely believe this, that our mission on this planet as people is to help one another survive, to help each other live and thrive. But what does that really mean? Because some people may feel like this could mean giving to the extent where it could cause a detriment to yourself. And it's really important to know that you don't want to keep giving to the point where it could hurt you. Um, so I was talking to my sister, and we've had some conversations about this. So I want to share a story from a show that I've just recently watched. And I'm not going to say the name of the show because I don't want to ruin it for you if you haven't gotten to this episode yet, since everyone binge watches TV. But ooh, thunder. Hey Thor. Anyway, so when you when you have family and really close friends that need help, there's you feel as if you have a super strong obligation to help people when it's your family and friends. And if it's something within your capacity, if it's something that you're able to do, you should definitely do it if you want to. Um, if it's not going to cause you too much trouble, if it's going to be okay for your health and everything like that. But you want to think about the end result when you're helping someone. So there's this story that I watched recently where this girl, I think she's like in her 30s, and her parents were moving, and she found out that day that they hadn't rented a moving truck, and she works at a store that has trucks. For moving cargo and whatnot. So she sneaks off and gets a truck from the store sneakily to help her parents move. So she gets home to her parents' house, and she sees they've done nothing. They haven't packed. They haven't prepared at all for this move. And she's really upset by this. She's a planner, she's like a manager, and she just can't even deal with this. She's going over, I think it's like her lunch break or something, like to help them move, and she's stealing this, truck to make this happen. And so she just frantically starts packing things and directing things, and her parents are like super distracted. At one point, like, she's upstairs in her old childhood bedroom that's completely decorated, not packed at all. And her mom's like, I'm hungry, like, let's make tamales. And she like opens the box in the kitchen that she just packed. And so she's like, she gets this feeling like, I really don't want to be here, and I don't want to enable this behavior that my parents have, that it's like they don't care about the fact that they're not taking charge of their life, and that she keeps taking care of them. So she and this friend of hers that had gone over to deal with this situation, they get into the truck because I think they were gonna go get food or something. But he says to her, he's like, So let me ask you a question. What would happen if you just like left and didn't help them today? And she's like, well, then I would have to deal with the aftermath of them not moving and them not getting out of the house in time. And like, he's like, no, what would happen? And she's like, "Well, it would be really stressful and everything for me." And he's like, "No, it would be stressful for them. It's their problem. They didn't prepare." And she's like, "You know what? I never really thought about that. I never really thought about the fact that it's their problem and they're the ones who didn't prepare for the move. They didn't think it all through." Um Obviously they had plenty of time to pack. She assumed that it was going to be done, but they didn't take charge of their own life. Somebody who needs help and prepares and then asks for specific tasks that are manageable, that's definitely someone who you may want to help. But you're not obligated in this life to help every single person. I said something to a friend of mine recently about people who I've known that have passed away. Um, I've realized something about myself that I can see in others when they're close to dying because like people are like soup, right? They have like protein in the like if you think of a hearty soup, like it has like a protein, it has like flavors, it has all these spices, it has vegetables. Like that's a good soup. It's got really good taste to it. It's thick, you love eat, it's got vegetables, you get it. When people are when people are close to passing away, their soup is thin. It's more of a broth. The protein is gone. There's only bits of vegetables left. There's nothing left to run on. Um, it's gray and watery. And I saw this with the people who I knew were gonna pass soon. Um, Unfortunately, that's one of my gifts that I can see shadows near people when they're gonna pass. Now that I know, I don't know if I want to tell those people, but I have warned them that their soup is thin and that they need to bulk up their soup. I don't know if there's any other way to prevent them from passing. I've told them to rest. I've told them to, you know, do things that they enjoy because that's what goes into the soup. When you take care of yourself, when you sleep, when you take time for sleeping, when you take time to spend with friends and family, and you create good experiences, when you make art together, um, and you have good quality food, um, really like, hearty food, with lots of, vitamins and nutrients and just food that gives you energy. And you share that together, that really gives you, it fills your bucket. There's a book that we read at work a few years back called How Full Is Your Bucket? I can't remember who the author is, but it's like a bucket. And when your bucket is empty, there's just nothing left of you. So just remember that when you volunteer to help others, think about your own bucket, think about your own soup and how much it will extend you. You can only help some people so much before they have to push back and say no. I also I had mentioned in a previous video that I had lost my mother-in-law, and she was my astrological guide. So I started following some astrology experts online, and 2019 is a year for setting boundaries. So keep in mind that this year, if you feel like people are taking advantage of you, if you feel like you're doing too much, this is the time to really say, I don't have the capacity in my wheelhouse. Or I really can't complete this task for you now. I need, another month or something like that. People love doing things for each other. They love surprising each other with things. They love helping each other with things. I'm so grateful to have a 16-person group of people who love to do my podcast with me and who also take on other tasks that are not part of their regular voice acting. Um, but they do it because what they gain from it is experience in life, and they gain the ability to put that information on their LinkedIn and get job experience. Ooh, very crazy thunder. But so I just want you to really think about yourself and make sure that you are having self care for yourself. And keep in mind also that helping others can also contribute to your own self care. Um, when you help others, it can fill your bucket. If you'd never help anyone, then your bucket could be very empty. But if you help people too much, you could be making your soup too thin. So those are my incredible thoughts for today. I hope that it helps you with your life, and I hope that I made a difference. Blessed be.